and return peace and tranquility to the world. But to do so, you're going to need to collect some items. And here we go. We have started. They're getting the instructions now, telling them to go kick the Dragon Lord off his throne with 3 treasure chests.
Yep. A couple of heroes started traveling around the world the other day. And we start with Urgent Token, that's one of them out already. Curse Belt will give you some gold. And there is the magic key. Now, no spells to start. And by the way, the tracker is a bit wrong. It's not an HP MP build, it's a strength HP build. And you're right, starting out with the skeleton on SassageLink side, Scorpion is a little more manageable. You know, hit for 5. Unfortunately, Scorpion dodges. And Magidraki, can he take it down? No.
It looks like they're both off to a little bit of a rocky start there. These are both Area 1 enemies, and what do I mean by that? Well, if you think about breaking up the world into squares, you know, kind of like the chunks from Minecraft, if you want to think of it that way. The square with the castle.
Thilo does it.
Ah, there we go. We've got Tilo and a spell.
1 power, 5 ability, 2, 5, and heal spell. You can travel around the world now.
Yeah, that really opens up some doors this early. Looks like ghosts have heal more. That's gonna make them a little bit harder to grind on these days. Oh no. Thilotilo running into the fun police, the Red Dragons as they are called in the game. We refer to them as the fun police because when they pull you over, the fun stops. So already very near the castle, we've got Magidrakes, Scorpions, we've got Magicians, very, very close. So you've got Red Dragons lurking not too far away. This could get nasty. Oh, Magicians with hurt more as well.
And thankfully for Thilotilo, he's been able to not see that hurt more. It looks like to be a 25% shot for a hurt more. But Thilotilo gets level 3, 1 more power, 3 more agility, 10 more hit points, 1 more magic point, and a new spell of Repel. I would not be as inclined to throw that on.
Not yet, at any rate. Repel spell is interesting in that anything that you are offense breaking, anything you've got enough attack power to really do stuff to the enemies, they're going to try to stay away from you at that point. That's when they can start running away, and Repel will just keep them from showing up. That's not really the bad guy's problem right now, though. And we have SassageLink finally getting level 2 after dying a few times, unfortunately. And there's Thilotilo with level 4, power 4, response speed 7, hit points 4, magic 1. We are actually in a decent stat spread for level 4 right now, and they're continuing to just try and find stuff going on here.
Like a town right near Thilotilo. By the way, he was attacking a red slime, right?
Think so, yeah.
Why is he killing his own kind?
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, brah.
Anyway, Thilotilo finds a town, and it's Cantland, so you can get an advance look at what they might have armor-wise.
Yeah,
like magic armor's really good.
Yeah, there's magic armor, half-plate, broadsword, all really good equipment in that one shop, and there's 2 other weapon shops in that town as well, so there's all kinds of things. And a critical strike, 1 shot kills that Magidrake.
By the way, they have a curse belt. Thilotilo could sell that off and get that copper sword. But I'm guessing Thilotilo is just gonna hold on to his money and just get the money the old-fashioned way by punching out Magidrakes.
Well, Well, with 27 strength, he's at least able to do some decent damage to these lower tier enemies as long as he doesn't run into another red dragon or something similar. Uh, Saving the money back for something like a broadsword might be a better play.
And now Sassage gets to level 4. And that's no bueno for Thilotilo.
Yeah, Tilotilo's just kind of nope away from that metal scorpion and the Magi Wyvern. And there's the fun police. Preemptive attack, sent back home. The police are out in force this particular seed, and they are not playing nice. Both of those were preemptive attacks.
Now we got Magicians running away at level 4 and Ghosts running away at level 4. This is quite interesting. And Thilotilo going high.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 27 attack now, so I'm not surprised that they're starting to run. But the problem is, Repel would actually be a really bad idea for them right now, because in doing so, you would actually prevent them from spawning, and that would be a problem, because these are going to be your money makers until you get enough experience to be able to tackle something a little bit bigger.
12 power, 3 agility, 6 hit points, 1 match point, but radiant. So that could mean entering that one cave that Thilotilo saw prior.
I didn't see which one that was. I didn't see what direction he went. They haven't really done much exploration outside of the immediate vicinity of Tantagel Castle. They have found one town of Cantlin. And hey, look, is that a spark of a bridge?
Dreams do exist in this world, but the seed will not be validated.
Now, interestingly, of course, if the coordinates are in play, Cantlin is right there to be able to pick them up. Of course, they're not able to get there right now. You need a key, and you need enough hit points to be able to survive getting back there. You know, or the armor. That works too.
And turns out that bridge was a road to nowhere.
And we're building a bridge to nowhere. Oh, the droll with the 1 in 256 dodge of a critical hit.
We call that the excellent doge around these parts. A good old excellent doge.
And Thilotilo has found Rimuldar, the place to buy keys. This is where he's going to be able to start expanding a little bit more. Remember, you've got the armory in Tantagel Castle with several chests. You also have whatever's in the basement of Tantagel Castle, where there's another seller of keys, so that you don't have to come back here for more of them. Whoa, was that a droll with a hurt more?
Yep, Droll's got hurt more.
Ooh, must be a low percentage. We haven't seen that before, but ouch! Looks like Thilotilo is going to be checking out this particular chest behind 2 doors and gets a pair of wings. Not
just
exactly
any
a fair
wings.
trade.
It's mighty wings.
It gives you wings! This also has chainmail, half-plate, magic armor, basically same kind of stuff that you got. He does pick up some clothes, you know. If you want to go out adventuring today, you best put on some clothes. Meanwhile, Sassage, running into a Druin Lord, that's a little bit scarier than what he wants to take on right now, managed to make his escape.
Agreed with the clothes, otherwise you're looking at a decent exposure charge.
Ooh, SassageLink running into a Star Wyvern with Hurtmore, sending him back home. So we've gotten a little bit of exploration done. Tilo does have an extra key in his pocket, I believe. Right now, he's just trying to grind up some money so he can go back into the backside of Tantagel Castle, buy another key, and check out what's downstairs back there. Because that could really start opening stuff up, and as well as potentially giving them access to the armory.
Either that or just trying to get enough money to stay at a hotel. But beats the Metal Scorpion and gets level 6 in the process.
11 more strength. Wow. Now we
Yep.
have a base strength of 50 at level 6. This is starting to really ramp up. Of course, still only 22 MP. Not that they have many spells, they're going to be casting anytime soon except maybe heal. And a Spectre comes out of nowhere, snipes Thilotilo, sending him back home.
I don't think he's too worried about that.
So we've got a couple of places that are, we've got some places to gear up. We've got some other stuff. Death Necklace, Herb, a Fairy Water, and Magic Key. Hey, there's a Magic Key in the armory. We're funding the one that it takes to get in there. Nothing too exciting, except maybe that Death Necklace that might come into play later on. You could
If
also
the
sell it.
strength peters out, yeah.
For those of you new to the randomizer,
Oh, we got a metal slime. And that's
And it
one for
ran away.
Thilotilo. Oh. After 2. It was a tease. That's what it was. It was a tease.
Yep. But yeah, there are several flags that are on these tournament things. Obviously, as you can see, we have randomized the overworld and where everything is. The dungeon and town maps are going to be the same. Those aren't randomized, but where they are certainly will be. As you have seen, the monster skills have been randomized. And also, a couple of interesting flags. Number one, metal slimes are always going to have a chance to run. It's called the Scaredy Slime flag. Next, torches and fairy water can be used as an item in combat to do damage. Fairy water does the same damage as the hurt spell. The torch does half of that.
Right around 6-9, but never mind that. We have a town we gotta look at. And Thilotilo
Garen.
finds, Garenham. And he's got a key, so he can use it.
3 more chests here. Gold. We've got more gold. And we've got fairy water. He's now got over 1,000 gold. That's almost broadsword money. If he sells the cursed belt, he's got broadsword money. He's also got half plate money right now. So that could definitely be a purchase for him that would really help him expand. And this is
Garen's grave.
Garen's grave. Oh, Garen's grave in the back of Garenham. Who came up with this?
Garen did.
Unfortunately, running into one of those Star Wyverns with Hurtmore, they really love casting that Hurtmore. It's gotta be at least a 50%, probably a 75% by gut reaction from what we've seen so far. And Sassage finding another town. Also, one other interesting thing is that repel spells and fairy water are in effect in dungeons. In the vanilla game, it did not work in dungeons, but here it certainly does. That can really help, especially with
It's Rimuldar, so he now has access to keys.
Alright, Sassage now has keys in Rimuldar. He's got access to some other things. We still haven't seen what's in the back of Tantagel yet, though.
That's true, but it's always smart to have a key in your holster, just in case.
Absolutely, because there is a vendor back there too. So if you've got enough money, you go back there, you buy from the vendor, and then you get to go check out what's downstairs.
I think Thilotilo going to buy himself some chainmail.
Do not blame him. Unfortunately, with that death, he lost his half plate money, but chainmail is a heck of a lot better than nothing. His defense going up to 26 instead of 16. That gives him a lot better chance at surviving some of these nastier physical attacks. Still won't help against that hurt more from that Star Wyvern, though. Or Magi Wyvern, excuse me.
Meanwhile, Sassage picks up level 7. Missed the stat boost. And he's going through this swampland trying to find something. Oh, he's got the big boy spell.
Yep, level 7 is where Hurtmore comes in. Or if you prefer Firebane or Sizzle, depending on which version of the game you are playing. This is going to open up a lot of potential encounters. This gives him the opportunity to one-shot mid-range enemies like, say, wolves, axe knights,
Magic
potentially
Wyverns.
Magic Wyverns. Return the favor on those Magic Wyverns. Oh, you're gonna hurt spell me here. Payback time. So there's a lot of enemies, and these things are worth over 100 experience in some cases. That's gonna open up some real experience gains for you. Thilotilo taking down a warlock, beating it to death with his own fists. Checking out the swamp. They're actually in the same swamp right now. They're almost in exactly the same tile, checking out the same swamp.
And they just gave each other a high five.
Yep, SassageLink taking a death there from the being overcome from the vapors of the swamp. Will be sent back home. Meanwhile, Thilotilo running into this metal scorpion who is being quite mean to him, but he should be able to take this out. There we go. You see, those metal scorpions are worth 31. Courage and Wit has served thee well. Power by 4, response speed by 4, hit points 11, magic 2, and now he has the big boom.
It's always good news when you get that big boom.
And Sassage checking out the backyard, the cellar of the Tantagel Castle, as we sometimes call it. Thilotilo running into a wyvern, meanwhile. Casts a Radiant and sees that it is Tablet?
It is Tablet Cave, and he's going to make a choice. Does he explore it or get out of there?
I mean, he's already cast the Radiant spell. He might as well go grab the free chest down here.
And Thilo's back home at Garenham, and he found a cave south to south.
And just a torch down there. Yeah, one note about the flag that gives the torches and the fairy water damage on use in combat, it's still going to be a coin flip against a metal slide.
Right, but as we've seen, it can attack a Dragon Lord.
It certainly can. Thilotilo picking up a small shield, boosting his defense a little bit more. He's up to 34 defense. That's going to really help him survive some of these tougher enemies, like the Druid Lord he just ran into. Meanwhile, SassageLink running into a Droll Magi, not even playing around, just Hurtmore's it down for 58 XP.
I'm also kind of stunned he isn't going to check that spike tile.
Yep, yep, there you go. That was Swamp Cave, I think he was just in. Thilotilo finding Freebie Cave, where the Stones of Sunlight are in the vanilla game. Just some cash here. This does set up a ghetto grind for cash if you were wanting, like, say, broadsword full plate armor. Taking out that knight with a hurt more spell. 78 experience there. Wizard's unfortunately very resistant to the hurt more spell, and not wanting to let him get away, manages to take him down instead.
Same thing happened with Sassage and the Red Dragon.
Now, we don't have any money in in the cellar. Oh, was that money right there?
Well, that's where the Death Necklace was, and when you pick up the Death Necklace, it becomes a random dollar amount between 100 and 125.
Ah, so that's a really bad gold grind.
It's a really slow gold grind.
Looks like Sassage is going to be checking out these coordinates if he can manage to keep himself alive long enough to get down there. That's going to be some very useful information for him, because if he says, nah, you don't need to worry about it, go out and fight, that tells him he doesn't need to worry about it. That frees up a lot of things and also lets him know that more of those tiles are going to be in play.
And the person with the coordinates steps off that important
40 leagues
tile.
south, 7 to the east. So there's at least something on that tile.
Yep. Isn't that right near Garenham?
In that vicinity, I believe. Of course, I'm not exactly the one to talk about directions, my handle being Sneaky the Lost for a reason. And right now, both are going to be going out exploring into the world now that they're level 7. Whoops! There's a red dragon. Oops. And Sassage's exploration comes to a very abrupt halt.
The exploration lasted shorter than Viva Lachlan.
Oof. Harsh but fair.
Can't believe anybody got that reference.
Thilotilo almost spent a key checking that other store, but decided against it at the last minute. He's gonna go get his coordinates. Sassage looks like he's trying to count out to get the search tile going. Don't think the princess is gonna get rescued in this particular seed, unfortunately. Although the trap tile in front of her might still be useful. Yeah, question from chat, where did he get the death necklace? It was actually in the armory in Tantegel Castle. The token was actually in the throne room in one of the first 3 chests. They both do still have a cursed belt. If they come up a couple hundred short on buying something, they can always sell that off.
And some stones have been found.
Ooh. That's 2 of the 3 items they need.
And Sassage looks like he's making a beeline for Garenham.
So the Stones of Sunlight were on the search tile. Looks like Thilotilo right behind him, though, going to this search tile and will pick up his stones.
No
That didn't.
agility in level 8, but I don't think he minds that much not getting any agility. A nice, healthy HP and MP boost.
Now, the flame sword is in Garen's shop, so if nothing else, if they can't find the big stick before they enter Charlock, that would definitely be a viable alternative. Oh, Sassage picking up a hand axe, give himself a little bit more oomph and a large shield.
Takes care of both problems that he had at the same time.
Or at least starts mitigating them. And Thilotilo encountering a red Durgan and not doing so well. Both runners are within 40 experience points of each other at the moment, though, so not a large experience gap at this time.
And Sassage is in Garen's grave, hopefully to make his way to those 3 chests up top, is able to do so.
Armor
Gets the
and
armor.
heart.
Well,
Wow,
that's all 3.
The silver harp found in Garen's grave in the back of Garenham. Who wrote this?
And Akita get the bottom half. And Thilotilo walking away from Garenham. This could be interesting.
So Sassage now has all 3 base items that he needs. He just needs to find the cave where he can exchange the harp for the Staff of Rain and the Jerk Cave to turn all 3, the Staff, the Stones of Sunlight, Erdrick's Token, to get the Rainbow Drop to be able to enter Charlock and ultimately defeat the Dragon Lord. So Sassage is a little bit ahead in terms of completing his laundry list of items, but anything can still happen yet.
And get some herb in you. Heal some HP if you need it. By the way, let's give a quick shout out to our restreamer Lord of the Sith, Sneaky the Lost by co-commentator. I'm Sigma Fan. NYC Guy is our tracker, and you can find both of those, find all of our Twitch channels right there in the chat. And we also want to give a shout out to our runners, Thilotilo and SassageLink83, and you can check them out at twitch.tv/Thilotilo and SassageLink83 in the link right in the chat. And if you do want to keep up on all of the amazing goodness that is the 2020 Summer Tournament, we have some links for you in the chat. Also, where to download Dragon Warrior Randomizer, and also our Discord page where you can chat with other fun and amazing people who love Dragon Warrior Randomizer and other good stuff too. So do that right now if you haven't done it already. What are you waiting for? Go! Go!
And while the enrollment for this tournament has been closed, if you like what you see, you want to start playing around with it, you go download it, we might see you in the next tournament. Meanwhile, Thilotilo's in a really rough neighborhood, was running from golems and blue dragons. It's going to take out the Star Wyvern, which apparently has heal, with a couple of hurt mores here, pick up some decent experience gains, but he was in a really rough neighborhood in that cave there. Meanwhile, Sassage finding a metal slime And it ran away at 2 hits. Aw.
Taking at it too. What a terrible, despicable act. And your t-shirts are too tight too, Billy.
Yep, meanwhile, Thilotilo getting that level exactly on the dot at 1,000 experience points.
Not exactly on the level. It's 975.
Oh, it is. You're right.
But 9 strength and a big 18 boost for your health. That is well worth getting your time.
And
And is that
Sassage getting a crit on a metal slime. And what was that?
look at this MP gain at level 9. This is incredible.
That's what, 29 MP?
That is 29 MP.
Meanwhile, Star Wyvern casting Hurt more on Thilotilo, sending him back home.
He was tired of having his friends have hurt more cast upon them. So that Star Wyvern decided to turn the favor, and we have Freebie Cave.
And the gold contained therein. Now, Thilotilo really needs to head back to Garanam and go down into the grave and get a couple of important items back there. That's really what's going to be holding him back at this point. However, he seems like he's actually going to do exactly that. Meanwhile, Sassage taking out a werewolf for a cool 95 experience points. Sassage with about 140 point lead in experience, somewhere in that area. So, you know, it's minor in the long term, but it's there. Another excellent move, but didn't really need it, but hey, it's there. Took out that wyvern. Meanwhile, Thilotilo now getting Erdrick's armor and getting the silver harp, which is the last of these 3 items he needs.
Yeah, but we still need to find Trading Cave. That is still outstanding. It's somewhere out there in the world. And they also need to find Erdrick's sword.
Yeah, well, okay, Erdrick's sword maybe, but technically not strictly necessary like the Trade-In Cave and Jerk Cave are.
Imagine Wyvern guarding a town, and Sassage is not having any of it. Decides to blow it up with a hurt more.
Thilotilo, meanwhile, delving deeper into Garen's grave.
Finds cold. This is a search spot, so it's possible that this could be the sword.
And we find nothing! You get nothing!
But you know what? He's going to spend 20 gold and get fully healed.
Meanwhile, Thilotilo running into the fun police, getting pulled over. He's trying to run, but unfortunately, he's going to be charged with resisting arrest and sent back.
Hey, 2 spark over bridges in 1 seed. Glorious. But Sassage will not verify it.
Yeah, no one has managed to get to that final chest in the grave yet. It could very well be the big stick, or it could be an herb. We just don't know. Now, one other thing we haven't seen yet are any wombo combos, which is what we call it when the enemies... Oh, another level. Response speed 9. And, 6 hit points, and that's it. Or 6
Hey, 5 magic points. Don't just got those 5 magic points. That's another hurt more in your belt. But
Yeah.
no strength. MTI is somewhere enjoying the living daylights out of that level. I miss MTI. Where has he been?
Oh, I'm sure he's around somewhere. Oh, meanwhile, Thilotilo finding Trade-In Cave. That's an important pickup. Now he's got everything he needs to go talk to the jerk. He's one step closer to grind and go mode. And what's in this next cave? It probably actually is the jerk. There's not many other caves outstanding
Mountain
yet.
Cave is the only one left outstanding.
No, we found Mountain earlier. There hadn't much in there. So there we go. We've got the Rainbow Drop Cave right next to the Trade-In Cave, visible from one another. This is gonna get interesting. Yeah, Tilotilo's already cleared Mountain Cave.
So that means Sword is either in Hawk's Nest or in Sharlock.
Hawk's Nest, the final chest in the grave that we haven't seen yet, or yes, in Charlock. But I mean, the sword in Charlock? Come on, what are the odds?
Pretty
Oh,
high.
he has found Charlock. We have sight on the big sea.
Quite a ways to hike to get there.
And not a whole lot of towns nearby there either, making it very unattractive for grinding, which means he's gonna probably want to try and find either hawks or check out what's on that spike tile and swamp, which he's doing right now. And it is a blue dragon for the spike tile here. That's not the worst grind, but not necessarily the best either. Especially not since it can cast Hurt More right back at you. Huh, dragon guarding the princess. Never would have called that.
It did in the original game like a green dragon.
And just like the first time I ran into it playing on the NES so many years ago, it pretty much had him for lunch. Fortunately, he did manage to get away. But unfortunately, SassageLink, unable to run away from his blue dragon, will get sent back home.
The poor unfortunate soul. Now, take a look at the stats. We see SassageLink has 66 MP. It is in orange. That means it's almost ready for prime time. Once it hits around 88 or something along those lines, it will turn green, which means you're ready to go.
Yeah, that's going to be for the stats necessary to take on the Dragon Lord in the Randomizer seed, which is slightly different. He's got a few more hit points, and of course, being a randomizer, what randomizer would it be if it didn't randomize the hit points as well? But as you see the stats start going into the orange, that means it's approaching what you'd like to see to go after the Dragon Lord. And green means it's pretty good for what you want to see. But that's only a general guideline. That's going to really depend on what other stats are around. I mean, if you've got an attack power of like 150 and you're doing 25 damage a swing to the Dragon Lord, you don't need 15 heal mores in the tank. Meanwhile, SassageLink clearing up his laundry list, finding the Trade-In Cave, and of course, right nearby is gonna be the Jerk Cave as well. So he's gonna get that taken care of. Charlock is not too far away from there either, so pretty soon he'll see that. Thilotilo running into a Golem, one of the nastiest enemies in this game, manages to run away with his life barely. So both of these people are in grind and go mode. They are trying to find a good place to set up a decent grind. to be able to level up and get the stats they need to take on the Dragon Lord. And also keep in mind surviving what is certain to be a fairly rough ride in Charlock.
And that's the part of the continent we couldn't see earlier on.
Now, right now, they have found a pretty decent area to grind in. You've got a lot of mid-tier enemies. You've got Star Wyverns. I mean, the Star Wyverns do cast Hurt more, which kinda hurts, but they are theoretically one-shottable to a Hurt more. Unless you run out of magic points, as Thilotilo has done. You've got Knights, you've got Wolf Lords, you've got some decent enemies in that area to be able to take on. Thilotilo not able to take on this Star Wyvern, will get sent back home. But he is definitely going to be on grind and go mode. His goal right now is to find a place where he can get as much XP as fast as he can. And honestly, SassageLink is just wandering around in these mountains because they do have a very high encounter rate, and he's running into some pretty profitable enemies for him as well. Wraith Knights, things along those lines. These are great enemies for them to be encountering at this level, especially with that Hurt More in their back pocket to be able to take things on that they might not normally be able to. Thilotilo, meanwhile, gearing up a bit, getting a large shield for himself. Courage and Wit serve thee well. SassageLink going up 5, 5, 10, and 3, and a new spell. And that's the sleep spell. That can be a very useful spell situationally. Things like Stonemen are very vulnerable to the sleep spell. That can really open up a couple of venues. Thilotilo, meanwhile, picking up a hand axe to help out his attack power. Now they are both on equal footing as far as gear goes. SassageLink with a bit of an XP advantage for now, but that can still change very dramatically depending on their grind options. If somebody finds a decent grind that can just get more experience per minute, they get ahead. And also, we still have not seen the Heal More spell, which is also considered pretty mandatory to be able to take on the Dragon Lord as well. Yeah, both of these people finding their own respective outside grinds. Maybe not as efficient as a Trap Tile grind, but definitely viable for them at this stage. Unless you run into a red dragon like Thilotilo just did. And yeah, there's just no getting away from the red dragon with 49 agility and gets sent back home. Looks like Thilotilo gonna cast Repel, get some of those weaker enemies yeeted out of the encounter table, so that he can run into some more worthy foes. Oh, Sassage now getting pulled over by the fun police, trying to run away. It is not working out for him, and he will get sent back home.
It's a shame. It's just a shame.
Now, for the Dragon Lord fight, the HP number you're really gonna want is at least 99, I generally say 100 just to be sure, but basically your maximum roll on your Dragon Lord breath. Ooh, Tilo just finding Hawksness. This trap tile could be the grind they need. There might be the big stick there, but more importantly is the grind if he can get away from this red dragon. No, denied. He will not be able to see what's on that trap tile. I imagine he will be heading back rapidly, as that could be Eredric's sword, or it could be absolutely nothing. But depending on what's on that trap tile, could mean the difference between first and second place based on the efficiency of the grind. But as I was saying earlier, uh, the maximum hit for a Dragon Lord 2's breath is going to be 48 with the Erdrick's armor on. So you want to survive at least 2 of those. Now Sassage finding Hawksness. So 48 times 2 is going to be 80 or 96. Oh, it's an Axe Knight. That is probably one of the best grinds that they could see at this point, because it will one-shot with a hurt more most of the time. Nothing on the trap tile, but that is almost completely irrelevant compared to the experience you get from an Axe Knight grind at this stage with those hurt mores. This is huge, and this could well be... there's one level right there, in fact. 8, 3, 8, 1, and a new spell. Looks like that is going to be hurt. Not that useful a spell. But this grind here is going to be the turning point. And he's just going to start nuking this Axe Knight for all he's worth.
Unless it casts heal.
Unless it casts a heal spell, yeah. Well, even so, it can theoretically one-shot with a hurt more half the time, over half the time actually. So, I mean, they won't get a chance to heal. Otherwise, you just smack it around a bit. Ooh! It does. Oh no, it only has Baby Breath. So its 2 skills are Baby Breath and Heal. That's actually a really soft Axe Knight to grind on. Just about ideal for these people at this time.
That is absolutely true. Not only that, what you can also look at into changing up your strategy now that you know what it's got. Sassage knows what it got. So what you could do, you could swing at it first, and then do your hurt more and be guaranteed.
Yeah, knowing that it doesn't have anything dangerous like a Hurtmore or a DL2 in its back pocket, that's absolutely a viable strat. Looks like he's just gonna go ahead and Swagmore this whole thing down and just start grinding up as much as he can. Now, one thing has been pointed out in chat, there is a chance that one swamp tile could have the fun police on it sending you back home. They are wandering around in that town, so, you know, that's something to consider too, but...
I don't think Sassage cares too much about that, because he's at the point where
well,
he's gonna take out this Axe Knight, and then he's gonna, look for something to die to.
Yeah, he's now got a 1,400 experience point lead, and that's only going to continue increasing further as he continues grinding on these Axe Knights if Thilotilo doesn't do something else equally profitable in terms of experience. And I don't think there is anything they have access to right now that would be better at this time.
They don't. And at Sassage's level, he could conceivably dive and grind for the sword. Because now we know where it is. It is in Hawksnest. Not Hawksnest, but it is in Sharlock.
Or the final chest that nobody ever picked up at the bottom of the grave.
But since that's not likely to happen, I think it's time to cue the music.
One chest versus 7 chests. It's most likely in Charlotte, but he could always troll you like that.
But I think it's time to play the music. From
Oh, you mean
Alifgard! From Sherlock Castle in Alifgard! This is the $100,000 pyramid. On tonight, our guest stars are Martha Smith and Earl Holliman. And now here's your host, Dick Clark. So, everybody in chat, place your bets. Where is the sword? Now, if you take a look at the 6 chests in Sherlock Castle in the bottom, it's kind of shaped like a pyramid. So the bottom 3 would be 50, 100, 150. The next 2 up would be 200, 250. And the top one is 300. Or it could be the judge's table, which is the vanilla location of the sword. So place your bets now.
Thilotilo finally making his way back to that axe knight grind, but if you see, this is what the RNG can do to you because of an unfortunate red dragon encounter in Hawksness. Thilotilo now about 1,000 experience behind as a result. That's the sort of little thing that RNGs can do that can really break open a game.
And now we're watching stereo Axe Knight grinds.
Yeah, this is. I mean, you can't blame either one of them. This is pretty much gonna be the grind. And now Thilotilo here finally sees what's on this tile and is probably kicking himself in the shorts, wondering why he didn't come back here sooner.
Maybe trying to. Well, during that time, he still haven't found everything else yet, so.
Well, he's got everything except the sword. Well, maybe the flute, but, you know.
Which could also be at the bottom of the grave.
Theoretically, yes, it could.
Filament Unities says, has the randomizer ever put a metal slime at Sherlock? No, not in normal mode, but in chaos it can, because in Sherlock Castle it could only have 5 enemies. Blue dragon, red dragon, green dragon, any combination of 5 of these enemies.
Ooh.
Blue dragon, green dragon.
SassageLink just took out a metal slime for another 255, furthering his experience point lead.
That's a good lead.
He's wandering around now for a death warp, I'm assuming. No? Maybe not. Maybe he just wants to take on these metal slimes. I mean, I kinda don't blame him. And he's got another one here that seems to be sticking around.
Why do I have the Growing Pains song stuck in my head?
Excellent move! And the metal slime goes down. That's 2 metal slimes in 2 encounters. Ah, there's the fun police. Oh, manages to run away from it. All right. Meanwhile, Thilotilo finding Cole, checking out the armory just to see what they've got there. We'll be checking out the tile, and we'll be getting the unpleasant news about the fact that there is absolutely nothing there.
Bit shocked that, well, now Sassage decides to go up against more Axe Knights. I guess the Sassage wants a little more health. And now, level 14. This could get interesting. 3, 2, 1. Blast
and
off, but
there's
heal more.
All right. And also notice, several of the other stats are starting to go orange on Sassage's side. He's not there yet, but it probably won't be more than a couple of levels before he's going to be ready to make his journey into Charlock. Of course, anything can still happen. You go down and you go off against the Dragon Lord and fail, that's at least 5, maybe even 10 minutes lost. And that can really, I mean, even an experienced lead like this can be lost in one miss menu. So it is still very much anyone's game at this point.
Absolutely. And now a long road to hoe for SassageLink to possibly get back to any sort of town.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it would have probably been better to just death warp. Try to find one of the fun police and hand yourself over. Up, there you go. No, manages to run away.
I don't get that. And you got towns pretty far away. Well, no, I take that back. Finds Cantlin.
Finds Cantlin. It's probably the most expensive inn in the game, but it's not like they have anything else to spend money on at this point, unless they really want, like a flame sword. I mean, if they can't find the Erdrick sword, the flame sword's not a bad second place, and it is available in Garen.
I don't think that's much of a problem because you have two runners in Thilotilo and SassageLink. They know this game pretty well. And they know the play almost all the time would be to head into Sherlock Castle, 7 chests compared to 1.
Yeah, but Axe really isn't gonna cut it in Charlock, not against those kind of enemies. So unless you want to try to do a run, which they, well, I mean, their agility is starting to get there at 65 and 68 respectively, but unless they get more agility, I mean, that's going to be a painful trip down.
I get you.
I mean, I'd almost be tempted to pick up a flame sword just in case it's at some place like Judge's Table and I can't be cared enough to go get it. You know, the vanilla location for the sword.
Sausage makes his way back to the grind spot in Hawk's Nest.
Thilotilo picking up a broadsword at least. That's at least some kind of additional attack power.
And Sausage having trouble with this werewolf.
Yeah, Tilo opting for the grind closer to town. I don't blame him, considering how far out off the beaten path Hawksness is. Even though that Axe Knight is a really juicy grind point, unfortunately, you know, you also have to take into consideration how long does it take you to get back to the grind, and what kind of resources you have to spend to get back to the grind before actually able to grind again. So there is something to be said for the closer grind. At level 13 with 103 attack power, they're able to consistently take on those blue dragons now. That might actually be the better grind at this point.
Right, but Hurtmore is a coin flip still.
Yeah, Hurtmore is a coin flip auto kill on these Axe Knights, so.
And now Sassage makes his way to Mountain Cave on the second floor of it. He's gonna realize nothing's in there.
Sound and thunder and fury signifying nothing.
That is sound and fury.
Sound and fury, yes, signifying nothing. Yeah, meanwhile, Thilotilo is grinding back up, has caught up substantially. He's at 5,700 to 6,200, so, you know, he's within spitting distance now. Again, has made up a lot of his XP deficit because Sassage has been choosing to do a bit more exploration, probably looking for that big stick, because he hadn't found Mountain Cave up to that point, and it was actually pretty intelligent to see if the sword was available at this stage. And of course, the one spell he does not have left is outside. So he's going to have to walk it. Because there's nothing
Absolutely
in there capable
true.
of taking him down. Yeah, Thilotilo is already caught up almost completely to Sassage. That XP deficit he lost by not going back there has been completely caught up. And will take the lead shortly. So, just like that, folks, a 1,500 point experience deficit, or even more, I think at one point it was closer to 2,000, made up just like that. That's how these randomizers roll. And it looks like SassageLink has found Breckenary with the 6 gold in. We'll leave a torch on for you. Question in chat, is the sword in Charlock? Almost certainly. There is one chest at the bottom of Garen's grave that has not been opened yet. And we don't know what is in there because there are red dragons lurking down there. But other than that, most likely it probably is actually in Charlock. Yeah, as been pointing out in chat, these seeds can really troll you. You think, 7 chests versus 1 chest. I'm going to check out Charlock only to find out it is, in fact, in the grave. So, it's theoretically possible. Although, SassageLink in Garen's grave is in its vanilla location in the back of Garen's grave, of Garenham. He could be taking that dive just to check that last chest and cross it off his checklist. Yep, looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. And at level 14, he's got a lot better chance of making it now, even with the fun police lurking on that bottom floor. And of course, picking up another magic key here. Those other two were the harp and the armor, neither of which are going to have anything left. Meanwhile, Thilotilo checking out Charlock for the first time, poking his nose in at a mere level 14. Certainly not ready to take on the Dragon Lord by any means, but could possibly sneak down and pick up the sword if it is down there. We'll see what he encounters and where they are encountered. Also, these green dragons and these wolf lords, really good targets for Hurtmoors. One-shot kills, good experience gains. Not quite as good as that Axonite grind, but still a very, very good way to pick up some more desperately needed experience while Sassage is faffing around in Garen's grave. Yep, there's Axonite, another great Hurtmoor target. as we well know by now. And of course, it's also really close to a town Charlock is. So, I mean, yeah, he's leading MP, but he's not planning on beating anything. He's just trying to get down there and get as much experience as he can in the process. Sassage actually opting to fight the man and take on this red dragon. Oh, Thilotilo taking a seat in the throne. Ooh, Sassage taking a risky swing, did not kill it off, and sent back home. Meanwhile, Thilotilo now hitting level 15. Looking at some much better stats now, that 75 agility is actually a lot better than a 68 for running away from these enemies in Charlock. So it actually is a pretty big deal. More hit points, more better, obviously. If you get up over 130 hit points, that death necklace starts becoming potentially viable if your strength is still slacking off. In the randomizer, unlike in the vanilla game, when you put on the cursed necklace, it drops your max HP by 25%, but it gives you an extra 10 attack. I'm being corrected in chat. It's not 75 that I was thinking of. It was what was it, 78? I think that defense breaks the Wolf Lords. Looks like green dragons have a heal spell. That's not going to help it out very much when he's getting hit for 25 and only healing for maximum 16.
Looks like we're in this endless cycle. There's the dodge. Hits it for 34 and still able to heal.
80 breaks wizards, 68 breaks wyverns, 88 breaks green dragons.
And Stone Man, run away as fast as I can.
Yeah, stone men hit hard and aren't worth a whole lot, so a lot of people just prefer to kind of avoid that. Meanwhile, Sassage, heading back to Hawks, gonna grind some more axemen if he can get away from the fun police here.
He did it once before, can he do it again? Doesn't look like this time he will.
Yep. And of course,
Thilo going to the judges table.
I honestly don't blame him. He doesn't have a whole lot more magic left in the tank. It's the closest one and the most obnoxious to go back for if it isn't where you were. So I really don't blame him.
He's got a good chunk of HP. He could tank the way down.
And there's the sword in the vanilla location. Thilotilo's genre savviness for troll seeds has paid off, and he now has the big stick, Erdrick's sword.
Now, here's my question for you, Sneaky. Knowing that Thilotilo has everything, do you do looking at your stats? You do a little more grinding, but in this chance, the blue dragon, right?
That's what I would do. The blue dragon is much closer to a place where you can go heal up right there, right next to the castle. You can take blue dragons really consistently with these stats. That's what I would do. But we will see. Looks like he will do that too. taking out a casual Demon Knight on the way. And
Yeah,
yeah,
you do one swing and you're fine. But Blue Dragons, Hurt More is a
ooh,
coin flip, and you're swinging for 39. They do have Hurt More, but with
they
Earth
also
Summer,
have
it only
Heal
does.
More. They have both Hurt More and Healed
Oh,
More.
more, more, more.
Ooh.
How do you heal me? How do you hurt me? More, more, more.
Of course, now with this stop spell, every time it tries to cast a Heal More or a Hurt More is a wasted turn for the Blue Dragon.
So that might be the play.
I mean,
Just
and at 180 experience points a pop, they are worth more than Axe Knights at a 130. The problem is, if it takes them that much longer to take one down, not really worth it. But Stop Spell did land the first time there. This is going to be pretty easy.
yeah, take a look at the stats. Stop spell immunity 1 in 16. You could easily pull that off. And with a heal more and hurt more being at 50%, it's just getting a little bit of good luck with the coin flips and being able for that blue dragon to do a lot more hurt more casts than you would want for them to do just straight out attacks.
Yeah, it definitely looks like. I mean, even though it's a little bit of a pain in the backside and a little less economical of a grind because now you're having to blow a stop spell on every iteration, uh, definitely a closer grind, arguably a faster grind. So, yeah, it's kind of a, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. I mean, the advantage here is you don't need to walk anywhere. You just death warp when you're done and immediately iterate back in. So that actually saves you the double distance on the walk to Cantlin and back for the other grind spots. So there is that.
Thilotilo going for 9750. He's hoping to get, maybe 2 or 3 more attack. And, however, I'll say this. If he gets around 10 to 12 more attack power, Thilotilo is throwing that Death Necklace on.
Yeah, and if he gets even 3 more MP, that's 10 heal mores in the tank. So he is actually increasing his lead at this point. He is at 9,000 experience versus 8,100 for Sassage. Sassage was starting to make itself back up, but starting to slip back behind again.
Lorgon has the numbers breakdown safe to where the Death Necklace with 12 additional HP being at 129, 3 more MP for 80, and that will be another heal more, bringing your number up to 10. 5 for 82 is also helpful because that gives you the Radiant.
Yeah, defense is a little bit low. You'd have to watch out for those 50-point physical attacks from the Dragon Lord at 77 defense. But with a couple of agility points, that'll bring it up to max hit of 48, which is where the Dragon Breath is. Yeah, 51 max roll for DL2 as was confirmed in chat. So you do have to worry about those because if you say, oh, I'm at 49 hit points, I'm safe. Whack.
No, you're not.
I mean, I've seen that happen before in the last tournament, so yeah. Okay, Courage and Wit has served thee well. Power by 7, response speed by 1, hit points by 2, magic by 11. That is 2 extra heal mores in the tank, not just one.
That'll do it.
He's got 11 heal mores.
That's enough.
Yeah, everyone in chat is agreeing. It's go mode. And, this is what I was trying to say earlier. Just because you've got a couple of numbers in orange doesn't necessarily mean it's not go time. It just means you have to compensate for it with others that are even higher. With an attack power of 135, that's going to be a 14 to 7 range? Yeah, you're good.
No, it's high of 17, low of 8.
Right. Because what you do there for the calculation, for those who aren't aware, is you take the defense, subtract that out, divide it by 2, that's your max, divide by 2 again, that's your minimum. So with the Dragon Lord 2 form of a defense of 100, you take your 35, divide by 2, round down, so that's your 17, and then divide by 2 again for your min.
But there's Ragai is coming up with the fighter's ring factor. We don't know where the fighter's ring is. It could be in the armory, and you throw that baby on, your 8 to 17 becomes 9 to 18.
Yeah, and that gets to be a lot more consistent with a +1 to maximum and minimum damage.
And I think Thilotilo is a heads-up player to know that's a safer option and can probably go for it.
Yeah, and question in chat, yes, the sword is in Charlock in its vanilla location, no less. There were actually a lot of interesting things about this seed. Garen's grave was in the back of Garenham, and the silver harp was in it, although it was on the top floor, not at the bottom.
And as we've noted in prior tournaments, Thilotilo is really adept at dark walking all of these dungeons.
Oh yeah, he's a past master at doing this kind of stuff. And of course, now you see he's just running from everything. He's wanting to conserve his resources, heal walk, because remember, he's got Erdrick's armor on, possibly one of the best armors in any version of Dragon Warrior, really. It does heal you every time you take a step. SassageLink taking a death warp, that's got to be an intentional death warp there. But he's just trying his best to conserve as many resources as possible to the very bottom. Stonemen look like they're a little less painful. They've got that hurt spell instead of their big attacks with those big stone fists of theirs. So there is that. SassageLink looks like he's actually going to start grinding on that blue dragon a bit instead of going, because remember, he's only got a broadsword. He doesn't know where Erdrick's sword is, and he's not counting on that. And that could actually be the difference in this race.
He's probably already deduced that Thilotilo, that is, already deduced that he's ready to go. Sassage, way behind now, going to that last floor. But it looks like Thilotilo got a little bit turned around on the third floor, but got out. And now it's just a matter of, refinding themselves.
No, I was wrong. SassageLink looks like he is going for Charlock. He is gonna make this dive. Will he check the vanilla spot for the sword? Will he just go straight down to the bottom and get the bad news?
I haven't seen much of SassageLink's play, but knowing that you kind of need to clear everything, you might as well go for vanilla location first, because it's on the way.
Well,
and if the seed's been trolly enough to do a vanilla Garenham and have the vanilla and have a semi-vanilla silver harp, it would be trolly enough to do just that. Thilo is opting not to look in the armory for the fighter's ring. I think he feels comfortable with the 8-17 spread.
As was pointed out, probability says it's probably going to be in the armory down here at the bottom floor. Of course, we know that's not true, but playing the odds, typically, I can definitely see Sassage doing this. And the Spike Tile, the Guardian, the bodyguard of the Dragon Lord, is a golem, quite the fearsome monster.
And with no flute.
However, with an attack power of 135, this golem will be dispatched. Using some herbs to heal up, and then hero walking the rest of the hit points. Has used the death no death necklace in play, only had 119 base hit points.
Yeah.
Doesn't need it, really.
One doesn't need it, and would just leave him with, what, 92, 93 hit points, so nothing doing there. Although we have seen somebody, the last summer tournament, win with 86.
I mean, it has happened before. It's just really risky play.
And how about a 16 and a 15 to start? And a 14 to start. We're going down. Okay, now we're going to 12. Now this is worrying a little bit. Okay, now 10 HP. Now I'm really worried Bud's gonna get a double out of this. And 14. Thankfully that roll was low. So now here we go again. 6 more heal mores to go. Are we gonna get another double out of this? Nope. Breathing fire. It looks like SassageLink did not check vanilla.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sassage is going to really regret this in a moment. Let's see what is here. There's the fighter's ring in the very first chest. Some gold. There's the fairy flute. Magic key replaces the one he just used. Yeah, Sassage made the correct play. It just wasn't the right play.
And get your GGs out, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Yep. Thilotilo, the 18th seed, is gonna cast Return. He is gonna go back to Tantagel Castle. He's gonna get the adulation from the people of the castle and from the king. And that will do it. He had 2 heal mores left in the tank. He is gonna go find his own land, and he will do that in the next round. Congratulations to Thilotilo.
And it will be Thilotilo and Archfield Monk next week. So definitely want to come back for that match. In the meantime, let's see if he wants to come in for a post-challenge interview. Is Sassage gonna YOLO this? This almost... Maybe he's checking the spike tile. See if the spike tile is worth grinding?
Possibly. SRL time, 1:23:10 for Mr. Thilotilo.
This was actually a fairly rapid seed, all things considered.
Certainly better than, I called the Sunday Weekly a week and a half ago. That lasted over 3 hours.
I remember. I mean, with 117 attack power, he just does not have what he needs to take on this Dragon Lord. It's not really going to be possible.
Unless two things happen. One, he gets a lot of HP and a lot of strength at level 17.
No, he's going now.
Well, he's doomed. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. He's doomed.
And
Speaking
Death
of-
Necklace! He's gonna go for the YOLO strat. He has now a max HP.
I want to say
90.
Wow. But speaking of YOLO, Thilotilo has joined us in the booth. Congratulations, Thilotilo, on a job well done.
Well, thank you very much. What? Oh, shoot.
This was actually a pretty amazing race. You two were going back and forth in terms of progression the whole seed. It wasn't until the very end that when you the deciding difference really was you going down and checking Vanilla Sword's spot.
Yeah, I was nervous because I hadn't checked the bottom of Grave, and so I didn't want to bank on the sword being in Charlock and then lose a whole dive. So I thought I'd do a kind of exploratory dive, do it, dive and grind kind of thing, and then if swords, and when I do that, I always check the judge's table first because why not? If I check that one and the if I check the judge's table first and it's not there, well then I know that it's either in the basement or it's either in the basement of Charlock or it's in the bottom of Grave. And in that case, I can go ahead and try to head towards the basement, but if I don't get there, I die, I wipe, I go back, and I can go ahead and dive Grave and just be sure, because I didn't want to do a dive where I was actually trying to dive and win, and then go to the treasury, find out it's not there, and, have to completely abort. So I wanted to at least make the dive fruitful, so I'll usually go to judge's table first, and that worked out very nicely for me. I was hoping to get the sword because I thought I could more efficiently grind the blue dragons than the axe knights, so I was hoping that ended up paying out for me in the grind.
And it actually did. Unfortunately, Sassage has decided to forfeit, saw the writing on the wall, but it was a really good effort for Sassage. That YOLO Death Necklace strat, that it takes a really big set of stones of sunlight to pull that one off, and we're proud of you, Sassage.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sassage did what would normally be considered to be the correct play, and just grinded on those axe knights until level 16, and then went and dived and went to go pick up the sword on the way in from the what would statistically be the most likely location for it in the armory in Charlock, only to find that it in fact wasn't there.
Yeah. I felt like I was behind most of the seed because every time I got near somewhere worthwhile, a red dragon sent me home. It happened over and over again, so I kept exploring the same places. I was 3 feet from Cole, I was 3 feet from the mountain cave, I was in Hawksness. Like every time I started, I was near the bottom of Grave. Every time I made anywhere where I was any progress, a red dragon would send me back. And so with all that, I was like, if I could have succeeded from running from one of them, I'd have been in good shape. And odds are I should have at least succeeded in one of those runs. So RNG just didn't work for me there. but I felt behind the whole time, and so when I dove and I checked the judges table and saw the sword there, I was hoping that might help alleviate, or that might help give me back a little bit of an edge, because I couldn't figure out where I could have gained ground on anybody outside of that because of how unfortunate the Red Dragons treated me.
Well, two things to that. Number one, both of you were having red dragon woes, and both of you were having real problems getting trolled by these red dragons. And number two, what happened was, while you did fall behind when you went to Hawksness and then found the red dragon and died and didn't go back, Sassage made his way into there and started his axe grind early. But then you went back, you started grinding. He went back to go dive to the bottom of grave, died at least one more time to another red dragon before finally going all the way down to the bottom chest. And while he was doing that, you were grinding axe knights and getting levels left and right and made up your deficit and then some.
Yeah, that decision to dive grave was really weighing on my mind, because I am on team dive grave, but that's usually assuming you're going to get checked 2 chests, not just 1. But I'd already gotten the next to last chest, and because those red dragons were there, I was like, I cannot attempt a dive until I at least have heal more. And by the time I had heal more, I had found everything. I knew that the sword was either in the bottom of grave or it was in the Charlock. I knew where Charlock was, and I was like, you know what, let's go take care of that, because I know with the amount of strength I'll have with Erdrich's sword, the blue dragon grind should be more efficient, and it's closer than the axe knight grind. If the Hawksness had been near the castle, then it'd have been great, but that trek down was just too costly for me to think I wanted to do that for my long-term grind with blue dragon sitting there. I did not realize they had hurt more and heal more. That was an unfortunate surprise. It was a very happy surprise to find out that they had no stop spell resist. So it ended up actually being a much more efficient grind, because I could take on many more than I ordinarily would be able to.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what we saw too. And of course, it's a shorter trip. You didn't need to have to worry about walking all the way to Cantlin and back like you did with Hawks. You could just death warp back if you needed to. It's right there by the castle. So it turned out being a more efficient grind for you, despite the heal more and hurt more, because of that lack of stop spell resistance. And you just went further ahead. And you by the time it got to the point where you were like, okay, this is go mode, you were going. And unfortunately, he didn't actually do the exploratory dive like you didn't find the big stick. He had a broadsword when he went after the Dragon Lord.
Oh wow, so when he went and put the death necklace on, that was with the broadsword.
Yeah, He had an attack power of 127.
Yikes. That's going to be a tough one to do.
But he did have some help, and we're joined by Sassage right now. We're going to ask Sassage, tell us about the idea with the broadsword, going at it with the death necklace, and finding the fighter's ring in Charlotte Castle.
Well, at that point, I saw that Tilo had already finished, so I just kind of said, why not see if I can do it?
I mean, it definitely sounds like an epic. Would it sounded like it would have been an epic end if you'd pulled it off. So, I like the attitude.
I mean, just the sheer stones of sunlight necessary to attempt a strat like that. You have my respect, sir.
Well, thank you.
And GG, man.
Thanks, GGC, Tilo.
Did the Red Dragons treat you as poorly as they treated me this seed?
Oh, they found me everywhere I went.
Yeah, the Fun Police were definitely out in force this time, and their enforcement was just very, very brutal.
I mean, and the seed had like a lot of different directions you could go. It didn't force you to go any one particular way, but every way you went, Red Dragon stopped me. I'm like, okay, all right, I see your point. I'll leave you alone for now. I'll move on. I'll go on and elsewhere. Won't cause you any more trouble. And then another Red Dragon stopped off, and it's like, okay, at some point, I got to get past one of you.
And that didn't happen until like level 12 or level 13. But then again, agility was an issue all throughout the run until level 14 when you got around 73, 74. So, any final words you want to pass on to the viewers, Sassage and Thilotilo?
Well, just want to say GG's to Tilo and good luck.
Oh, I think we lost him. But GG to you as well, Sassage. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope we entertained you. Thank you very much, Sneaky and Sigma Fan, for calming, NYC Guy for tracking, and Lord of the Synth for your excellent restreaming. I'm very happy to have a win under my belt, because this is actually the first time I have won on opening week in the Dragon Warrior tournament. So I'm happy to get this win. I have Archfield Monk ahead of me, who is very, very challenging, and I think the two of us will put on a pretty good show. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see that matchup between you and Artfield. Both very good players, having actually casted that particular bout between Archfield and Pelador, that was a really interesting one. Despite Pelador being kind of new to the scene, definitely acquitted himself honorably in that match, but Archfield did pull ahead.
And that he did. And what we're going to do now is we have one last message from Sassage. Sorry, got booted from voice. Good luck, Thilotilo. Hope I don't have to lose to you again this tourney. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. I will...
Looks like we're going to be passing this off to Randomania 3, which has another race already in progress.
Sounds very good. All right, so we will do that, and we will see you next time for another great Dread Warrior Randomizer race here on all the Randomania network of Twitch streams. And just want to thank everybody for watching. So for Sneaky the Lost, Lord of the Synth, our NYC Guy, and our runners Thilotilo and SassageLink 83, I am Sigma Fan saying goodnight and Rando.
Take it easy.